The demand, and price tag, for top wide receivers continues to skyrocket. An exploding market at the position only got wilder this offseason, as the Cincinnati Bengals' Ja'Marr Chase became the league's highest-paid non-quarterback with his 4-year, $161 million contract extension. Meanwhile, T. Higgins, 4 years, $115 million, and Chris Godwin, 3 years, $66 million, scored major payouts while staying with their respective teams, and Stephon Diggs netted a 3-year, $69 million pact to link up with the New England Patriots. And while this year's receiver class in the NFL draft might lack a player who measures up to the likes of Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers and Rome Odunze, all of whom heard their names called within the top 10 picks, there are more than a handful of players in the mix for the first round or early portion of Day 2. For the purpose of this exercise, two-way star Travis Hunter will be designated as a cornerback rather than a receiver, even though his primary position remains very much up in the air. If the Heisman Trophy winner does end up focusing on the offensive side of the ball, the expected top 5 pick could easily end up in the same class as last year's top trio. Here is USA Today Sports' ranking of the top 10 wide receivers in this year's draft. NFL Stats Central. The latest NFL scores, schedules, odds, stats and more. 1. Tetairoa McMillan, Arizona. Who would have thought that a 6'4", 219-pound receiver who was one of college football's most productive pass catchers would prove to be so divisive throughout the pre-draft process? After McMillan posted 174 catches for 2,721 yards and 18 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, he looked poised to be a top 10 pick and the surefire front-runner to be the first wideout selected. But there's been a fierce debate regarding exactly how reliable of a prospect he is. As a downfield target, McMillan can make magic happen with his comfort plucking passes out of the air and leveraging his massive catch radius. It's getting to that point that's the potential problem. McMillan doesn't regularly create separation against man coverage, leaving the onus on him to box out defenders for contested catches. So far, that approach has produced massive gains, but it won't be as consistently viable against more formidable defensive backs. McMillan has been likened to Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London for a playing style reminiscent of a power forward. The comparison doesn't quite hold up, but McMillan's comfort operating underneath and as an intermediate target could help raise his floor. He's a particular weapon on slants thanks to his strength and sure hands, and he can build up speed to rack up yards after the catch. He also can make his mark against zone coverages, as he repeatedly finds openings. Where does that leave him? McMillan might not be a fit for every offense and quarterback, which could give his draft stock some volatility. But he can be a massively productive presence, even if he doesn't ever reach the level of becoming a go-to player. 2. Matthew Golden, Texas. Following his transfer from Houston, Golden stepped in for Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell to average 17 yards per catch as the next dynamic weapon in the Longhorns' attack. He then caught many by surprise at the NFL Scouting Combine by blazing a 4.29-second 40-yard dash, best among all receivers, even though he seldom displayed elite long speed on the field. But there's no questioning his explosiveness, as he can fire off the line of scrimmage in an instant and then throw defensive backs off by varying his tempo or selling a different route. That package should make him a formidable threat down the sideline in the NFL, though he will have to prove he can hold his own at the catch. 3. Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State. The latest standout in the Buckeyes' unending parade of marquee pass catchers, Egbuka doesn't measure up to his 4 first-round former teammates, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith-Njigba and Marvin Harrison Jr., in pure physical ability. But the 6'1", 202-pounder became the school's all-time leader in receptions, 205, thanks to an advanced understanding of the position, and his savvy will surely serve him well at the next level. Egbuka compensates for pedestrian burst and suddenness with his crisp route running, which allows him to both create and find open space. As a safety valve out of the slot, he should endear himself to his next quarterback early on and see a high volume